So, on this ever-ascending path we call life, do you want to talk about the universe? I do. Basically, I'm 18 years old. I am a bit autistic, not gonna lie. Anyway, I have a theory about the universe and dimensions, higher dimensions, black holes, quantum theory, whatever. And basically I want you in the comments to tell me if I'm talking complete nut of bollocks or if it sounds like I'm actually onto something here. Because I've tried to search this on Google before, but really, what the hell am I supposed to search for something so intricate and weird that I can't really explain in under 10 minutes? Watch this video, it'll be like 5 minutes long now. Whatever, you get the idea. Essentially, the reason why I'm making this video is because I have a theory, like a pretty abstract theory about black holes and higher dimensions. Essentially, what I think, like the basic idea of my theory is that, like, what if black holes is just what happens when matter excels into a higher dimension? Because we don't really know 100% what black holes are, and we probably won't for a very long time. But there's this common idea of a singularity, and, like, you know, my question is, what if that matter is just extending out of our plane of existence onto another? Like, for example, the 4th, 5th, 6th dimension, whatever. And the basis of my theory is all around the concept of bending light, essentially, because generally in the life that we live, all light is straight. It's like it's curved or it waves slightly at the most. But essentially, a fucking bat just flew out in front of me. Shit. Fucking hell. Anyway, between the objects that we see and our eyes, there's generally a straightish line. There's a straight line, and you know, every now and then it curves when there's, like, you know, there's heat waves and stuff. And with black holes themselves, there's gravitational lensing before the event arrives, and the light loops around the black hole. But if we talk about how we live in the moment right now, we are living in a third dimensional world. There's 3 dimensions that we perceive. Sure, there's time, which extends into the 5th dimension, but in the moment, we're in the 3rd dimensional world. And we can only ever see a 2-dimensional image of this 3D world. Sure, like, we perceive the 3rd dimension with 2 of our eyes, which are essentially 2 different 2D images from slightly different perspectives, so we can judge distance. But generally speaking, if we could see 3D, if we could truly see in 3 dimensions, then we will be able to see all sides of an object at once. We will be able to see all sides of a cube at once, including the inside. We'll be able to see absolutely, like, everything of the cube, which is physically impossible with our sight. If we compare this to how a 2-dimensional creature, you know, a flatlander, would see their world, they would just see a slit. They would see an infinitely narrow slice. In order for a 2-dimensional flatlander to see their world in 2 dimensions instead of 1, then their eye would have to be somewhere above their flat world, 3rd dimensionally. And it's the same for us. In order for us to see a true 3-dimensional image of our plane of existence, our eyes would have to be up somewhere in the 4th dimension, looking down on our 3D world. But anyway, back to black holes and bending light. What I think is that, what if the way that you extend to a higher dimension, what if the way in which we can see a 3-dimensional image is if the light that we see bends? What if the way that you reach higher dimensions or higher dimensional vision, or what if the way higher dimensions are simply reached or even created is just by bending light to a degree? Because black holes, we've already talked about gravitational lens, and the light bends all around those things until it never comes back. It's beyond the event horizon, and then what happens to the matter once they're going, we don't know. But the reason why I'm thinking about it like this, like with like all dimensions and shit, is because, like, going back to the cube, if you could see all sides of a cube, you would be seeing a true 3-dimensional vision of it, not our 2D vision that we see of a cube in our plane of existence. So why do we see a 2-dimensional vision? It's because all the light between the receptor and the object is in a straight line, or a roughly straight line. If the light bends or loops around on itself or just moves in any way, shape or form, then we would be able to see absolutely everything of the 3D world that we live in. So again, I know I'm kind of rambling here, I just hope that I'm getting my idea out. The basic gist of my idea is that what if black holes are just a point of intensity that, you know, I've said before, it bends light itself, the speed limit of time in the universe itself, and time, like, you know, is a component of the fourth dimension. It's how we perceive traveling through the fifth dimension, which is what we're doing right now. It's just time, space-time. My question is, what if the singularity is just at a point where all matter, it just goes boom off into another direction, which is completely out of our 3D space, out into a higher dimension? Once again, if it sounds like I'm talking complete and utter bullshit, then let me know in the comments. And if it sounds like I'm onto something, then once again, let me know in the comments, because I have no idea. Evidently, I'm just a trippy autistic weirdo who thinks about this shit, and I just want to know what other people think. Okay, so that's going to be it for this trippy universe extravaganza. I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao.